Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about with everything that's going on with the H-1B and with the F-1 visa also previously that you saw in the last few months, is it still worth going and studying in the US right now? I've done this video before, but I'm doing it right now because there have been major updates since then, and more on the scenario as well, because a lot of students come to me and we do their drafting, we do their applications for the universities worldwide, and I want to tell you what the situation is from my perspective as well, because I can see that the things are definitely changing, and telling you about that is going to probably give you a much better of a perspective. Okay, so let's begin with the fact that I'll tell you straight away, of course, the things that are happening right now, they are 100% political moves. People who are just playing with the H-1B program, they know that it's not going to, of course, they cannot demolish that, they cannot remove that, they cannot scrape the program off. It's going to be there, and the workers are going to be there, so they can't really go anywhere with this. But at the same time, what's important for you to understand is that if you're going to one of the maybe top, not in the top 100, top 200 universities, if you're not even in the top 100, 200 in the US, that is, chances are that you may not be offered a very high paying salary, and that's a problem now. Earlier it was not a problem, because even if you were not offered a very high salary, that was okay. But now there's 4 tiers. You have to be in tier 4 or tier 3, which is the highest salary zones, in order to get your H-1B. And this is if the rule gets implemented, of course. This hasn't been implemented yet. Probably in 1 month we'll know for sure if this is going into force or not. But yeah, this is what is going on. Okay, now you see, it's not going to hurt you directly, but it's going to hurt you if you cannot go ahead and bag a job which is very high paying. Now this will of course vary as per the areas as well, right? This doesn't make sense to me, because if someone is living in New York or California, well, their salary is probably going to be higher than someone's salary who's in Missouri, So these sorts of things will have to be accounted for. And right now, as far as I know, no such thing has been given out in the proposal. Maybe even if they present something like this in the future, I'm still not sure if there is a solution to this. Previously, we did see that, a few days back, this rule came out that, you have to have minimum amount of salary in order to qualify for the H-1B. But, the whole thing is that salary was too high. And people will, basically American employers will not afford such salaries. So I'll tell you what's going on right now. I'll tell you what's, been the perspective of the students. So a lot of students, until last year, that used to come with us and work with us, I think 90, or you can say 85-90% of those would at least be applying to 2 or 3 US universities. I'm not saying that only US universities, but 90% of those would at least apply to some US university. But now the case is a little bit different. So we have students who are just applying to Canada, just applying to Australia. And the reason is, and this is not because these students were not interested in the US, they definitely were. But the situation is like that they are changing their minds right now. So that's what's happening. People are not really preferring the US so much. They're definitely applying because, I'm still encouraging them that, keep a backup open, even in the US. Let's say tomorrow, after the election, maybe Trump doesn't come again. Maybe, hey, it's a big maybe, but something like that happens and Joe Biden does something good for the H-1B. You don't know that yet, right? But let's say that something like that happens. Well, in that case, you need to have some university that has given you the acceptance, right? And as long as you have that, you have your doors to the US open, you have your doors to another country open as well, Canada, Australia, UK, whatever you want. Okay, now the goal over here is the same, to have as many options as possible. Okay, so I would say, even if you were very sure about the US, just take one more country, be it Canada, be it Australia, UK, Germany, Netherlands, Ireland, anything you want. Just take one more country and apply to universities from that country as well, because you don't know how the situation is going to turn out. The H-1B program is definitely going to stay. The F-1 visa, the OPT, that still remains unimpacted. You can still go ahead If you're going for a STEM degree, you'll get 3 years of the OPT. That's not changed. Everything is the same. The H-1B also, if you're going to the top 50, 100 universities in the US, you really do not need to worry, because chances are, as long as you are in a good area, trust me guys, give the most importance to the area. People don't do this. People think that just the ranking is important. I'm telling you right now, the ranking is secondary to the location. The location is the most important thing, and people don't understand that because it's not the same in their own country, but it is over here. In the US, it's very, very different, and you need to realize that. Okay, location is important. Go to some good location where jobs are plentiful for your area of study, and trust me, I can assure you, you will get a good salary, you will get a good, job. At the same time, the chances of getting your H-1B will be higher. I can say that you can actually take advantage of this fact now, even if this rule comes into play. Okay, and people were not really like I told you in the beginning of the video, people are not really thinking this through. They're thinking that this is only bad for them. But, think about this, and you can make this into an advantage. If you can get into a good university at a good location, okay, the chances are you are gonna get one of the highest salaries, and it's gonna be easier for you to get the H-1B. Okay, now the only thing that I'm scared of over here is that, you know what, earlier it used to be random based on a computer algorithm. Now it's going to be that they're gonna review your application one by one. And what if they choose to maybe, favor one country over the other? Something like that happens. That's something that I'm scared of right now. I'm not really sure, because earlier it was computerized, so it was completely random. Anyone could get it. Of course, the most applicants are from India and China. We already know that, but still, things do change when we go from a computerized process, a random process, to a manual application by application process. So that's something that is still there for the future. But from my end, what I think is, as long as there's no such bias going on, of course they haven't really told us about this, so as long as there's no such bias going on, you're good to go. You can take advantage of this, and in order to take advantage of this, get into a good university in a good location. Anything in the top 100, prefer the location over the ranking. Like I'm saying again and again, know the good locations for your field, your branch. They change, by the way. For finance, the location is New York. For engineering, it's California. All of these things change based on your field. Remember that. Okay, even for MBAs, it's if you're looking for entrepreneurship, it's either California, you can say Boston, Massachusetts, something like that. So get into the good areas where the opportunities are plentiful, and trust me, this is gonna be an advantage for you guys. You're gonna be able to get the H-1B much more easily because it's not random then. Even if you're able to get a higher salary than other applicants, that your chances are increased. Earlier, there was no way to say that your chances were increased. Now you can increase your chances. At least it's in your control. That's what I'm trying to say. Understand this. It's in your control now, and I guess it's better than not having control at all, right? I mean, you can at least go ahead and make sure that you're doing everything you can to get the highest salary. Now that's a win-win situation. You get a higher salary, you get an H-1B, right? But at the same time, it can be bad for some people who are going to the lower ranked universities, maybe rankings 150, 200. Anything below that is I would say it's you're risking it, really. So if you're going to maybe rank 250 university and you find out that the location is also not good, you're not able to get a job later on. Even if you're getting one, it's probably $50,000-$60,000 per annum. It's not going to be worth it, guys. So think this through. One good way to check this would be to see the alumni, where they are working, what kind of salaries these companies are paying. All of this will come into the picture. I'll tell you more about the Canadian process and the Australian one, like which students are preferring it, how things are going on these ends. Of course, the processes for these countries are more competitive now as compared to last year, but these countries are still one of the you can say options that I would say you should consider. At the same time, have some options in the US, have some options outside, okay, just in case. I'm not saying that things will turn out in a bad way for either of these countries, but have some options, okay. Apart from that, I've already told you about the advantage you can take, like it's in your control now. And yeah, hopefully this makes sense to you. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video.